Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.
What's up, friends and family? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, coming again, bring you another edition of this Motivational Monday. Hope everybody out there is having a tremendous day on this Monday. I want to thank you all for joining me. I'm starting to see eyes add up in the room. If you would, please shout yourself out. Say what's up to the motivational teacher and to all the people out there listening to you that are masked. Say hello to the masses so they know who you are. Vaniqua, Tina, thank you for joining us. Way to be on time. And if you would, go ahead and invite your top 5 people. Go ahead and drop their name in that box, in that post or comment box. For all my replayers, give me about a minute and a half as I share this out to my top 5 as well. Sorry, y'all. Usually I have that on mute. I'm sending this out to my top 5 as well. So if y'all would please do that, that would help us so much, because I know there's a lot of people out there that need to get this word. Need to get it for this season. I hope y'all having a good day. Hope the weather's all good out there where y'all are. I mean, the weather here is crazy. It started out this morning at 30 or 40, ended up close to 70 degrees today. But nonetheless, we are excited about being here. And tonight's going to be a great edition of Motivational Monday. We're on episode, 124? Man, it's going to be a bread-breaking moment. And today's going to be one that's a little different than what we usually do. Because I do think sometimes from the grind of everything that we do, we need to step back and take a moment and to love ourselves. So this is going to be a different one. I mean, this is an area of opportunity for me. I'll be honest. Like, I'm not one that says, like, I sit down and I celebrate wins and I, all the time just checking in on myself to make sure I'm good. So even for me, I told y'all I'm a player/coach. Like, even in this season, I'm still learning this myself. What's up, Ryan? Thank you for joining us, bro. In this season of my life, I'm still learning this myself. So go ahead and tell your friends and family to get on here. I mean, even some of those family members that we know, that we think that we feel are strong and they are movers and shakers and they're building their legacy. I mean, even invite them tonight, because this one is going to hit home to all of us tonight. All right, I'm done sharing that. They're not here. Tonight, episode 124 of Awaken Your I Am. Tonight, I want to talk about love yourself. Yeah. What's up, Kennard? Thank you for joining us, bro. Y'all hear my voice, so I got a little hot tea on the set with me tonight. Tonight, I want to talk about loving yourself. So many times in life, I'm going to call us big dreamers. So many times in life, us as big dreamers, we think on a whole nother level that's beyond the average person, that's beyond the average mind, and which causes us to put, honestly, a lot of pressure on ourselves to do above and beyond, because I have such a big goal. I have such a big dream. Oftentimes that come with a heavy weight. I know, like, sometimes you hear Christian people say, the higher the level, your new devil. The more whom is given, more is required. Or whom much is given, much is required. And some of us fall into that bucket. Hey, Lisa, thanks for joining us. Yep, Kennard, episode 124, bro. I remember you the one who gave me the idea about doing episodes. 124 later, dog, we still breaking this bread. And tonight's going to be one that is an area of opportunity for me. I'll be honest, I'm not one that says I have self-love on lock, because I know there are times I need to take more time for my own mental health. I know there's times that I need to, like the old song used to say, still away. I know that there are moments, but tonight I want to talk about loving yourself. I love this quote by Robert Morley. He said, to fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. Falling in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. And I know that to some of us out there with the Christian background and the faith background, that some of us find that that's contrary, that we, first we want to love God, then we want to love ourselves, and we usually put it in that order. And I'm cool with that order as well. But I want to challenge us to make sure that we love ourselves, that I see myself as valuable, that I see myself of someone of use, that I see myself, how I see myself determines my self-love. The story that I tell myself about who I am and whose I am determines how I feel about myself. And if I'm not, if I'm unable to be honest and to be real and to be true about what I feel about me, come on, man, we're gonna break bread tonight. This is not one of these ones that gonna have you running around, but this is gonna have you to reflect and look on the inside and see, am I loving myself the way I want somebody else to love me? Am I showing myself the respect that I want others to show respect for me? Self-love means that you accept yourself fully. Self-love means that you accept yourself fully. That you accept yourself fully. My question is, we know where we're going and we know what our trajectory is, but my question to us is, can we accept ourselves, not just the good, but the bad, the flaws, and everything that comes along with me being me? Can I accept the fact that I know that sometimes, and my wife has said that sometimes like things get messy around the house, and then I have this unction, just, okay, I got to clean everything up from top to bottom. And it's the same way with my weight. Something, during the holidays, I allow my weight to fluctuate, and then I eat, and then I say, man, I look in the mirror one day and say, man, I got to get back in shape, and then I go back and get my body back in shape. I know that's me, and I accept that part of me, as well as I accept the part of me that's sitting here breaking this bread. Can I accept myself? Because the challenge of me accepting myself, meaning that if I don't love me and I don't accept me, how then can the world respond to me any differently than how I see myself? I'm talking about awakening your I am. I'm not abandoning the awakening your I am. You loving yourself is a huge part of awakening your I am. How can the great I am awaken your I am unless you have that love for yourself? I'm bread breaking right now. It means that I accept myself fully. I accept myself for what I did right. I accept myself for what I did wrong. I accept myself for all the things in my past. I accept myself fully, and I take full responsibility for my life. I'm okay with taking responsibility for my life because I know what treasure has been buried deep down on the inside of me. Me accepting responsibility for my past is not disarming me of a great future. It's actually giving you the ammunition you need to walk out what you need in the future. It gives you the ammunition to walk in the mirror and say, man, I love myself. This bald head, I told y'all yesterday on Bridging the Nation, I used to have a bunch of waves, but I love this bald head, boy. You know why? Because it's mine. And it doesn't matter to me what other people feel about this bald head because it's mine. I truly love myself. Self-love means that you accept yourself fully, that you treat yourself with kindness. Thank you, Elkie, for sharing this out for us. If y'all would, you just getting on here, I'm getting eyes starting to add up. If you would, go ahead and invite your top 5. Tonight, we're talking about self-love. I woke up to the story this morning about I think her name was Chelsea Christ, who looked like on the external had everything. Very beautiful, just finished law school, got a master's. She had a lot of things going on that was positive for herself, but yet felt the need to end her life. And we never can tell the person on the other side of these words how they feel or what state of mind that they're in right now. And so I decided to come on tonight just to talk about you loving yourself. You not need a amen corner to feel good about yourself, but if it's just you plus God, y'all equal the majority, understanding that you are enough just as you are. Yes, I know we got growth plans. Yes, I know we got goals and dreams that we're trying to attain. I know we have all these lofty ambitions, and none of that changes. And how I see myself determines how I get to that goal. If I only see myself as a filthy rag, then I would treat myself as a filthy rag and allow other people to treat me as a filthy rag. If I only see myself as being someone worthy of a relationship that's not committed, then you'll only get relationships that aren't committed. How you truly accept yourself and fully love yourself, it's the energy you get back from the world. The moment you start loving yourself and and like the song say, put speck on your own name, the world can do nothing but react to what you're putting out. Self-love means you treat yourself with kindness and respect, and you nurture your growth and well-being. I will say this. You nurture your growth and your well-being. You treat yourself with kindness and respect. Why, motivational teacher? Because there's something that the great I am wants to do in and through you. When the great I am, and I love using Bible stories and I love using natural stories, and I did get a message from some people that said, for people that are on here or that are coming on here, sometimes don't have the background or the backdrop of some of the Bible stories that I use. So I will start telling them into more details. And thank you for that feedback. I see you out there. Thank you for giving me that feedback. Hey, what's up, big cuz? We on here tonight. Love you too, bro. We back on here tonight talking about self-love. But when God called Moses who delivered God's children out of Israel, who had been in captivity for over 400 years, and he delivered them out. But when God went to Moses, I want you to deliver my people. Moses said, God, I can't. I stutter. I can't deliver your people, God, because I have a stuttering problem, and Pharaoh wouldn't want to listen to somebody like me. And so there was no way at that season of Moses' life that he could go and tell Pharaoh to let God's people go, because Moses didn't see himself as worthy of a vessel to make that command to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh actually put some speck on his name. Come on, man. Because his speech wasn't as fluid as the next person, he disqualified himself. What's up, Charles? What's up, Mom? Thank you for joining us. Because his speech was not as fluid as Aaron, he disqualified himself from being the person that actually lead the children out of Israel. So what did God have to do, Moses? I got to teach you who you are. I got to awaken your I am, Moses. Moses, what is that in your hand? You got a rod. Throw it down, Moses. Turn to a snake. Pick it back up, Moses. He said, Moses, when you go tell Pharaoh that the great I am sent you, what he said? He said, Moses, I'm with you. I need you to see yourself how I see you. I don't see you as someone with the sheep. I see you pastoring 4 or 5 million people and leading them into the promised land. He had to help Moses upgrade the vision that he had for his own life. And I'm challenging you right now to begin to love yourself in that same way. Don't look in the mirror and see yourself for what you once was. Don't look in the mirror and see yourself for what you did. I accept all of that, but I see myself as the great I am sees me. It's important that you accept yourself. It's important that you nurture yourself and you have feelings of growth and well-being towards yourself. I'm not so much concerned about what I don't have today, because I know whatever I lack, I possess the ability to be able to grow it. Hey, Lori, thank you for joining us. That I possess the ability to be able to grow. I'm not ashamed of what I've been through. I'm not ashamed of where I am, for it's the power. Come on, man. That is the power of the gospel for what I've been through. I'm not ashamed of a divorce. I'm not ashamed of a repossession. I'm not ashamed of foreclosure. I'm not ashamed of a bankruptcy. Why, motivational teacher? Because that's the power. That gives me the authority. That gives my words power as I sit across from this screen. And the moment you stop, oh my God, this is a bread-breaking moment right here. The moment you forgive yourself for what you've been through, it's the moment you can truly, authentically love yourself. As long as you hold alt, as long as you hold condemnment, as long as you don't forgive yourself, you'll never find the love that you're truly seeking, because you can't give it to yourself. A lot of the emotions we look to or look for externally are the emotions that we seek internally. I can't find nobody to love me. Why? Because you don't love yourself. The moment you start loving, oh my God, this is a bread-breaking moment. The moment you start loving yourself is the moment where you begin to find that other people find value and love you more than what you know. I have a friend in my life. I have a friend. My friend is petite, but my friend is always complaining about his weight. Well, I just got to drop this. I got to lose that. I said, bro, you better love yourself. Like, it's so concerned about what external eyes think that I negate what the internal, what my internal know or what my internal feel, because I'm too busy seeking validation from everybody else, because I need that validation for me to feel in love with myself. And those emotions will eventually pass, and you'll be left feeling naked and ashamed all over again. Once somebody says, "Oh, it ain't all that," the moment it identifies with that part of you that's seeking that validation. And now you're dependent on that person for your emotion of self-worth. Release yourself from people prison. And we look at the lives of all the stars, and we look at how comedians, they bring joy to people, they make people laugh, and they go commit suicide. How, motivational teacher? How? Because it was never about what they did for you, but it was about how they saw themselves. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. I can't believe that somebody with that would do that. I can believe it, because they didn't value themselves. They didn't trust. They didn't love themselves. Well, motivational teacher, and listen, I'm not here to argue mental illness. I'm not here. I believe mental illness is real. I know mental illness, and some people do have some hormone imbalances in their mind. I know that I'm not going there, but I'm saying for the people that are looking at me, and for the people, I'm telling you that even that process starts and begins with the version of the story that I tell myself. Even that process starts and begins with how I see myself. And it's so sad in a world where we have every resource at our availability, that yet we still yearn for acceptance. We still yearn for love. It's so many people out there that's trying to gain their acceptance through a Instagram quote. Yeah, I mean an Instagram photo. There's so many people out there. I want to make one speech so I can get discovered. Unfortunately, you got to awaken your I am. Life is in session. It doesn't happen that way. Oh man, I only show people the highlights of my life so they can feel that that's my real REEL. So they feel that that's my life's real day by day. I'm only giving them highlights. Why? Because I need them to validate me. I need for them to tell me how awesome I am. I need them to tell me, oh, I need to get 200 likes. I need to get 170 comments on this picture. Why, motivational teacher? Because there's so many of us lack self-love. Hey, what's up, Brandon? Thanks for joining us, bro. Self-love encompasses not only how you treat yourself, but also your thoughts and feelings about yourself. What are your thoughts concerning you? Man, I know God, if God's thoughts concerning me are good, only to do me good, what are your thoughts concerning you? Your thoughts should be no different than the great I am who awakens my I am. If you're looking for what to think, what did the great I am say about you? What emotions do you have linked to your self-worth? Oh my God, that is awesome. Most of us relive, I'm gonna do this. Most of us relive traumatic experiences so many times in our mental capacity that we cannot separate that thought from the emotion. Oh my God, that's bread breaking. We can't separate that emotion from that thought. And although that happened 10 years ago, that real in our own mind I feel it all over again over my whole body when I think about what happened to me in that moment, so much so that I cannot shake that emotion. Motivational teacher, break bread. I'm challenging you now to change how you see yourself. Don't let, and I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna give you some answers for y'all that just pop on and pop off. You're gonna miss something. I'm challenging you to stay on here right here tonight. I'm working on liking myself first, and others' likes will be extra. And even if they don't like it, bro, who cares? Man, who cares if they don't like it? It might not be for them to like it. You've been called, the people that you've been called to will appreciate it. And I know your ministry and I know what you do. The people that like it will reach out to you. I ain't care about nobody whether they like you or not. I see some people chiming in. Life will not give you what you desire, Angelique, if you don't love yourself, because you'll still be unhappy when you get it. I love it. I'll say it like this, and I think Antoinette Marie said it yesterday. Like, money is an amplifier. Money is an amplifier. If you don't love yourself, broke, you ain't gonna love yourself for more money. If you don't accept who you are without that man being in your life, then you're only gonna ruin another relationship. It's only amplifying what you already see and what you already feel. Your relationship with you is the most important relationship you can have. Chime in the mic, Brandon. Chime in the mic. I don't care what my boss think about me. I don't care what this person think about me. I don't care what that person. Man, God loves me, and I love me just the way I am. And see, some people think that's contradictory, knowing that I'm the motivational teacher and I talk about a growth plan. I talk about this and I talk about that. Man, trust me. And like Paul said, I'm content in all things. I'm happy with where I am right now. But I know there's so much more on the other side to me. And I'm growing to get there. But it doesn't mean that I'm less than right now. That's a bread-breaking moment right now. Because you don't have the money right now doesn't mean that you're less than. Oh, let me break bread. Let me break bread. Did David become king? I know some people said I got to give more context. Did David become king the day the prophet came and said, man, he's the one? Or did he become king once he got the crown? Because after David was anointed king, he had to go right back out there and watch the sheep. Tyler Perry had the vision of TPS Studios the whole time he was doing Madea plays. Was Tyler Perry Studios already built? Or it didn't come into fruition until the building was placed? And see, that's why I'm challenging you to see yourself as one worthy of the crown, although you don't have it at this moment. Self-love. Self-love encompasses not only how you treat yourself, but also your thoughts and feelings about yourself. So when you conceptualize self-love, you can try to imagine what you would do for yourself, how you would talk to yourself, how you feel about yourself that reflects your love and your concern for yourself. What is the conversation with yourself? That's a bread-breaking moment right there. What are your thoughts toward yourself? What is that internal dialogue that you have about you? And I'm not asking you this to condemn you, but I'm asking you this so you can acknowledge what you feel and why it's present. Because if those thoughts are there, we need to acknowledge them and where they come from and deal with the seed so we can start rebuilding and taking every word captive from a solid foundation. See, we don't want to be these people that walk around falsely talking, how are you doing today? Better than I deserve. How you doing today? Oh, everything, like Bob the Builder, everything is awesome. We don't want to be those people that falsely, because we're motivational people. We believe in that good. We believe that all these things, but we don't want to be people that walk around falsely that know we're unhappy on the inside. But on the outside, I got to put up this front. I got to put up this front that all is good, all is well. I got to make it. I can't. And me especially, come on, LeVar, especially me as a black man, I can't have no emotions. Especially me as a big black man, I definitely can't have any emotions. Come on, man, I'm breaking bread. It's taboo for men to talk about their emotions. Come on, big cuz, chime in this conversation. It's taboo for black men to cry. Oh, it's a sign of weakness. I'm talking about black men because that's what I know. I'm one. Society tells us that if you appear weak, people are going to take advantage of you. Come on, man, I'm breaking bread right now. And so what most of us do, we sit down and ladies, talk to your sons. Talk to your sons, talk to your husband, talk to your nephews. Latin men too, thank you, Elke. I say talk to them and let them know that it's okay to express your feelings. My 12-year-old, I'll be honest, like this is an opportunity for me. Like I'm learning how to express my feelings because I grew up in a time, in a place where what goes on in his house stays in his house, and it is what it is. And I learned how to let life roll off my back. And I see my 12-year-old coming in that same pattern. And so now I have to role model what it seems to deal with emotions as an African-American male. That the things that I've been told by my uncles growing up it's what they needed to survive during their times. But now understanding that this mental health is real. It is real. And there's nothing wrong if you need to go sit on somebody's sofa, if you need to go in somebody's pastoral office and get counseling, that there's nothing wrong with that in order to improve and awaken your I am. I just broke bread. I can't have no other body telling me how to live my life. Some of us need people that can see a little further to speak into our lives. Some of us need some people that have a little bit more vision or have just a little bit more knowledge and understanding in whatever area we lack to speak in our lives. So we can learn that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Like what I went through didn't make me. It made me who I am, but it didn't shape me to be an angry person. We all need, come on, Angelique, we all need them. It's okay to express your feelings. How do you talk to yourself? How do you feel about yourself? That reflects your love and your concern for yourself. I got a brother chiming into this conversation. All right, so let's talk about how to eliminate that. The world trains us that we have to be this and that another, and not show that this is or another. If that makes sense, it makes sense to me. It tells us that I got to put this front on to make people have a certain perception about who I am, and anything other than that perception make me appear weak or that I'm not that individual. And oh my God, I'm gonna break bread. A lot of that stuff, that belief is rooted in fear and self-preservation. It's rooted in fear and self-preservation. And we as brothers, I know we do the best at hiding our emotions behind this stoic face and these emotions. But on the inside, we know we hurt. And we know we need to be having these conversations, but we don't. Motivational teacher. Why do we need to do these things? And some of you all out there, and I know I got my Bible people, my voice, you're going to do right tonight. And I know I got a lot of people out there with a Christian faith. And that's why two of the greatest commandments. Love the Lord your God, all your heart, my soul, all your being. That's that one. And then love your neighbor as yourself. And so now we wonder why the world is in the condition where it is. Like in Atlanta where we live, like every night there are some shootings. Every night somebody has shot somebody else. Motivational teacher, how can that happen? They're loving their neighbor how they love themselves, because every time you sit there and tell yourself how I'm not smart enough, every time you sit there and tell yourself that I'm not skilled enough, all you're doing is murdering yourself. You're taking a little part of you that's somewhat that believes that little piece of you that got that spark on the inside of you. Can these bones live? Every time you tell yourself what you can't do and what you're not, you're actually killing a little bit of yourself. And we wonder how can one African-American male shoot another African-American male that look just like him. Why? Because neither one of them love themselves. They don't love themselves, and they've never been taught how to love themselves. Check this out. When was the last time somebody gave you a lesson on how to love yourself? When you were growing up, how many conversations did you have with your parents on how to love yourself? Oh, that's a bread-breaking moment. How many classes in school did you have growing up on how to love yourself? How many classes in church did you have on how to love yourself? In all your college courses, how many classes did you have? Come on, man. How many courses did you have on loving yourself? The answer is 0. Nobody taught us how to love ourselves. And so we discover through the world system and the world views what it means to love. I'll challenge some of y'all that in the church. How many sermons did you hear in the church about loving you? We heard a lot of sermons about how to love God, how to love Jesus, how to love the people around us. But how many sermons did you hear about loving you? Oh, that's a bread-breaking moment. And we wonder why the divorce rate is higher in the church than it is in the world, because we're not teaching people how to love themselves. Oh my God, that's a bread breaking moment. I think that's Pat. I'm not sure, Facebook user. I had to apologize to my son for telling him to suck it up and don't cry. You are a man. I saw him duplicate me with my grandson. Fear getting hurt causing more pain. Man, I'm telling you all, what we learned about loving ourselves came directly from the street because there was nobody of any value teaching us how to love ourselves. Angelique said, look at my mother taught me self-confidence and love. It wasn't perfect, but it was more than most. I agree. And I'll shout my mama out telling me that I can do anything that I want to do. I could be the governor of Alabama if I chose to. And that gives confidence. That breeds confidence. Motivational teacher, why is it so important that you're having this conversation tonight? Because you can't give what you don't have. There's no way, if the law of Genesis says that the seed is within itself. If I want love, I gotta sow love. If I want joy, I gotta sow joy. If I want money, I gotta sow money. So if you can't give what you don't have, how can I raise kids in my household? How can I be married to a spouse that I don't know how to love me? So there's no way I can know how to love them. That's a bread breaking moment. But you go to marriage counseling, they tell you to focus on how to love that spouse, in which I agree. But there's no way you can find a happy median without you first saying that number one, I'm worthy of being loved, and that I love me first. And then from my overflow, my spouse gets that. Why is the marriage rate getting up to 70%? Because we have people marrying each other that don't know how to love themselves, love oneself. That's why I think it's crazy. Let me get some of this tea. I think it's crazy to get married without counseling. I'm breaking bread right now. I think it's absurd to get married without doing some type of marriage counseling. I think it's absurd not to be able to sit down and talk about your past, sit down and talk about your potential spouse's past and see how those things come together and merge together as one. But what we see is that outside physical attraction, and we think, man, I want that. But what we don't see, the pain and the hurt from the molestation when she was a little girl, or what we don't see is the pain and hurt from the molestation when he was a little boy. And what we don't see, how he was beat as a kid. And those emotions rise up every time a woman raises his voice at him and he becomes violent. We don't see those things when I'm looking at that pretty brown skin. Those things don't show themselves. That's why I've served to go and say I do for a lifetime commitment before having these conversations. You can't give what you don't have. The law of Genesis says the seed is within itself. If the seed is within itself, then in order for you to share love and to love thy neighbor as thyself, I first got to know how to love me. I first have to see myself worthy of being loved in the mirror. There's no way I could give somebody what I don't have. Somebody want to come borrow $1 million from me. I can't give you $1 million because I don't have $1 million just yet. So there's no way you can get it. And so what we're doing is, this person want to come get something from me. I'm 30% whole. And out of my 30% whole, I can only give you 20% of that 30 that I understand. And so we're walking around with a whole incomplete generation. Oh man, that's a bread breaking moment. That's a bread breaking moment. That is a bread breaking moment. And the challenge for a lot of us is that we'll never know love because you learn agape, that God kind of love, from the great I am that first loved us. Like you learn love. How many times should I forgive a person? 77 times 7. That basically means as many times as they need to be forgiven. Question: how many times should I forgive myself? Oh my God, that's a bread breaking moment. How many times should I forgive myself? If I need to forgive my neighbor 77 times 7, how many times should I have to forgive myself? Bread breaking moment. How many times do I need to look in the mirror and say, boy, I release you from that mistake you made that landed us in prison. Boy, I release you from that foreclosure that got your credit bad. I release you from that bad decision. At 21, you made the best decision you could. I release you from that. The 40-year-old version of me is releasing the 21-year-old version of me for that bad decision. 40-year-old version of Anthony, I release I forgive the 21-year-old version of Anthony for making that decision that we're still overcoming. I forgive you for that decision, 21-year-old Ant, because the lessons that I learned from that decision has made me so much better today. I forgive me. Oh, that's a bread-breaking moment. 77 times 7. But we can forgive everybody around us, and we can see the value in everybody around us, but yet I cannot forgive myself and see the value in me. Yeah, voice. We're going to get this out today. Breaking Bread Monday. I got Elke say it's true and it's difficult to learn how to forgive yourself. I'm just learning now at 48. And Elke, I applaud you for realizing it at 48 and saying I'm not too old or I'm not too stuck in my ways to learn this, because you're definitely worthy of being loved. We are our own worst critic. That's so true. That's so true. We criticize ourselves more than we would anybody else. And I hear sometimes from the Christian point of view, in which I'm not here to argue self-pride. I'm not here to argue narcissism. I'm not here to argue any of those points that you first got to love God and give your life to God and all these different things. I'm not here to argue those points. I'm only here to say that in order to have an awakened I am, you first got to see value in your own self. When therapists and psychologists encourage self-love, they're not talking about putting yourself on a pedestal above everyone else. They're not saying that my way is the only way to doing something and I'm this and I'm that. That's not what they're saying. Narcissists believe they're better than others and won't acknowledge and take responsibility for their own mistakes and flaws. See, I'm not saying not to own your own mistakes, own your own flaws. I'm not saying not to own. I'm not saying to put yourself on a pedestal more than everybody else, but you got to understand that you got to be your first priority. That's a bread-breaking moment. If I take care of me, if I'm my first priority, everybody else gleans from my overflow. My children and my spouse glean, my cup runneth over. Oh, that's a better way to put it. Good measure pressed down, shaking out, running. My cup runneth over. And when my cup runneth over, my family, my wife, my kids, people that's joining me on Motivational Mondays, these people get the overflow. I'm not serving from a bankrupt spirit. I'm not serving as one who has nothing to give, because my cup runneth over, because I am my first priority. Well, that's just selfish for you to be your, no. And I know my mama, my wife, and I know a lot of ladies out there, you feel like you've been selfish when you take care of you. I was glad that my wife said, hey, come get these boys. I'm going to get my nails. I'm going to get my feet done. I'm going to get my stuff done. You need to come get these boys. I said, gladly. I'll take them both. I need for you to do this while I go do this, because I believe that that's healthy. And I think more you ladies need to take more time out for yourselves to make sure that you're number one, you've taken care of you. And when you get to that moment when you know you need a minute, you need to verbalize that and not react through your emotions. Most times, I know when my wife is fed up when she gets snappy. Bam. She real quick. Bam. I said, okay, she need a moment for her. Use your words to communicate how you feel in that moment. Use your words to say, I need to take care of me. I need to go buy me a big steak dinner and eat my dessert first. I'm literally got nothing to give. I need to go and listen to, I don't know, whatever replenishes you. There's nothing wrong with you saying, I got to take care of me. I'm telling you, you're healthier, you're stronger when you do those things, when you take care of your mental health, when you get in your word, or you listen to your song that encourages you, or you listen to this conversation we're having that encourages you. When you need your me time, Tina, you take it. When you need it, you take it. We have to feed from our overflow. We have the tendency to pour from a cup, then look at the cup, and there's nothing left for you. Am I on Instagram? I'm on there, but I'm not as visible on Instagram like I am on Facebook, Brandon. Facebook and YouTube and Periscope. I'm on there pretty often as well. But I thank you for asking, bro. But I just want people to realize and understand. I'm finna get into some, and I'm about to get into some life hacks into helping your mental health and helping you with your self-love. Let me see where I am on my notes. Just talking about people. I know some people got a problem with me coming out, or will have a problem with me talking about self-care. Hey, talk to us about what self-care is and what self-care is not. Yes, sir. We're gonna break bread on that too. I know some people gonna have a problem with us coming out and having this conversation because some people believe that that their only time belongs to the Lord, or that their life belongs to that they got to give their life to so many different things. When I love when Jesus came to Mary and Martha, he said, "You're so busy doing many things." He said, "I didn't ask you to do many things." Yeah, I'm on Instagram. It's Waging War 32, I think, Brandon. Yeah, no, definitely hit me up, man. We'll definitely connect. So how to hack your own self-thought and your own self-conversation. How to life hack your own self-love. I'm gonna say this. One of the keys to self-love is your mental loop. Write that down. One of the keys to your self-love is your mental loop. Your mental, right? Y'all get that? Your mental loop. Your mental loop. All right, let me define it. Your mental loop is a consistent pathway of the story that you tell yourself when you're on autopilot. What is your mental loop on autopilot? What is your thoughts concerning yourself when you're not actually trying to force thoughts in your own mind? What is your mental loop? Does your mental loop that you loop over and over again only focus on what I do wrong? And my attention automatically gravitates to what's wrong versus at least being able to say, okay, let me give you two positive and one negative. What's your mental loop? We have to hack that mental loop. We have to get into that mental loop. And one way by hacking that mental loop is by making sure that we're meditating day and night. That's what the book told us to do, meditate day and night. That we're meditating on what the great I am has said about us, that we'll meditate on the good that's in my life, that I meditate, it's so easy for me to point out what's wrong, that I meditate on what's good in my life, that I meditate on the things that I do well sometimes. Not that I become boastful or arrogant, but that my I am can be awakened. I got to hack my mental loop. I'm going to tell you this. That's one. The second way to hack your own self-love is never meditate on a negative thought for more than 17 seconds. Researchers say at the 17-second mark is when one negative thought becomes attached to another negative thought. At 17 seconds is when one negative thought links to another negative thought. So have you ever been in a situation where, especially if you got a spouse, where you're arguing about one thing and then while you're arguing about not taking the trash out, it end up that you don't never wash the dishes too. You don't wash the dishes, you don't never fold the clothes. At 17 seconds, you've been talking to your kid about their grades, and then you tell them how bad their grades are, and then you end up talking about how they don't never clean their room. Then you end up telling them about how they got to be more intentional about this. 17 seconds. Never dwell on a negative thought for more than 17 seconds because it was soon link itself to another negative thought. And that 17, process it. Yep. That thought is what it is. That's what it is. How do I counter it? How do I counter that negative thought? How do I counter it? Because if I allow it to be there longer than 17 seconds, it will link itself to another thought. And if I allow too many of those 17 seconds to pass, that will become my new emotion. That will become my new, I love it. What you feed will grow. Or whatever you focus on will grow. That will become my new emotion. No, number 3. And I was reading this book and I thought this concept was phenomenal. Number 3 is don't fight fear. Oh my God. Don't fight fear. And the author of the book I was reading, I wish I could remember the author's name of the book I was reading. He said, hey, you don't fight fear. He said, you add light to fear. And it reminds me of what Martin Luther King says, that darkness cannot cast out darkness. Light has to cast out darkness. Only faith can rival fear. That's a bread-breaking moment. You have to add light in those areas where you feel that are the darkest in your life. Those areas that you don't really want to touch because of how it makes you feel. You got to add light into those areas. You got to be able to walk in and add faith in those areas. Yep, it was bad, but you know what? It didn't kill me. I can see where it made me stronger. I can see how God is using that in my life to make me the warrior I am today. You got to add light. Too many of us are trying to fight fear with fear. You fight fear with faith. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. We got to learn how to add light to every situation that happens in our life. Man, that's a new Motivational Monday coming. A t-shirt, just add light. Just add light. Number 4, how to hack your own self-love. Number 4, you got to have gratitude. You have to have gratitude. You got to love yourself for who you are. Like every night you should close the night. We're writing 5 things down what happened good to you. You ought to close the afternoon with right now 5 things that went good. What went good to me. Like today, man, I had a great day when I was coaching this person. At the end of the day, man, I made a great choice by having that grilled chicken salad at lunch. We need to end our day with gratitude, thanking the great I am that he allowed us to have victories today. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. That's a bread-breaking moment. That's a bread-breaking moment right there. We need to start putting those things into action day by day. We need to add light. Close your day out. Get your journal. Close your day out with a gratitude confession. All things work together for my good. Number 1 is own your mental loop. Own your mental loop. It's what your mind tells you when you're on autopilot. It's what you think about yourself when you're on autopilot. Are those thoughts good towards yourself? Because I know a man doesn't know his own heart, but it's always revealing itself to you in your thoughts. We're going to hack this thing. We're going to hack this thing tonight. One of me ate a refreshing bowl of strawberries and apple. Ryan, that's a win. You should write that in your book. Not in your book, in your journal. That's a win. That's a win. See, it's too many of us we're looking for the home run. Bam. We're looking for the Ken Griffey. We're looking for the one, but we hit singles and doubles every day. We hit singles and doubles every day. And we got to start being appreciative for the singles and doubles that we hit every day. I'm breaking bread right now. Putting self-love into practice. Often when we think things are hard to do, we avoid them. That's why we say things like, I'm afraid that I won't be able to change. Again, when we make those comments, or I want to be less critical, but I don't know how. Anytime you give yourself a cop-out, you're not saying that me and myself, that we can make these changes. I have too much to do than to spend the time I need to hack my mindset. All of these are ways and areas that we need to start making changes in our lives about how we see our I am. We got to start changing the way I see our I am. Now, what self-love is it? Vaniqua, most of us, honestly, don't step outside of our comfort zone because of how we view ourselves. I believe Oprah can go be a billionaire. I believe Tyler Perry can do TPS Studios. I believe J.K. Rowling is something special. I believe LeBron is something special. But when it comes to Anthony Williams, that dude just, like we believe all those things around. I believe my boss is so much smarter, so much greater. But I'm telling you right now, if they can, so can we. If we awaken our I am, those same possibilities that those people reached, you possess as well. You possess as well. Now, I'll say what self-love isn't. Self-love isn't selfish. Self-love isn't that I just put myself on a pedestal, or I walk in my house and I want my spouse to bow to everything I say, do everything I ask, when I want it, how I want it, and they get nothing in return. That's what self-love isn't. I'm breaking bread right now. Self-love isn't me go taking all the money in the account to go get me a Gucci purse. Bread breaking. That's not self-love. That's not self-love. That's selfishness. That's going to get some, we can't pay the light bill because we're going to get a pair $1,200 shoes. That's not self-love. That's not self-love. Self-love might show up in the fact that, I'm going today because I've been 7 days in a row with these kids. I'm going today to the salon to get my nails done. Self-love. Self-love can show up that way. Self-love even can show up and you just wanted to go in your room, in your closet, close your door and listen to your whatever music you want to listen to. Self-love. That is self-love. Self-love, when you're stronger and you feel better about yourself, you can give more to the world. You can give more to the world. Thank you, Lisa. I feel renewed. I think we all need moments. I honestly say we need moments. I say you need to, this is just a motivational teacher. I say you need to get your planner and you need to schedule your self-love. You need to schedule from 7:30 to 9 on Wednesday nights or 7:30 to 9 on whatever nights. I'm gonna do me. And whatever me is, me can be watching a YouTube video, me can be reading a book, or me could just be watching Martin to get my laugh on. Whatever me is, we gotta start scheduling our self-love. Because if you don't make you a priority in your own calendar, nobody else will make you a priority in their calendar. That's a bread-breaking moment right there. That is a bread-breaking moment right there. My self-love might not look like yours, but it's mine. I agree. And can't nobody else tell you how to love yourself. Can't nobody else tell you how to love yourself. And I'm challenging us. You're breaking change tonight. Come on, Angelique. I'm challenging us. Said, learn to love yourself. I love when the brothers chime in this conversation. Learn to love yourself first. Then you'll learn to love your neighbor. Bro, that's a bread-breaking moment. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That's why there's so many shootings, killings, and robbing and stealing. Because we don't know how to love one another. Do you and do not feel guilty about it? Because I know as a mom and wife, I feel guilty sometimes, and you shouldn't. Coach T said a calendar of me. I don't blame you. You need to write some time in your calendar. And I'll tell you something that we've started doing in my house. Like we've started taking Vacations at least once a quarter. We go somewhere warm. My kids enjoy the water. We go to the beach. We go some Miami in the winter. We go somewhere warm, and they go get in the water. They go do what they want to do with no rules. We don't drink sodas during the year, but during that time you have Coke, Sprite. I don't care what you drink during that time. You do you, because this is your time to love you, and I can't tell you how to love yourself. I think a false balance is abomination. A false balance of anything is abomination. When my kids have their self-love time, eat your cake first. That's 2 to 3 weeks out of the year. Eat your cake first. Do you. You want a Coke float? Have your Coke float. You want Coke? You want Sprite? Have your Sprite. You want sweet tea? Have your sweet tea. I can't tell you how to love yourself. In these moments when we on vacation, take your PlayStation. I know during the week you can't have devices. When we on vacation, love you how you want to love you. Love you how you want to love you. You want French fries 3 times a day, eat French fries 3 times a day. That's on you. This is your opportunity to love you how you want to be loved. My wife, same thing. My voice is fine. I can't wait to go back and listen to this to see how I actually sound, because I hear it cracking. My wife, I can't tell her how to love her. If it was me, I wouldn't pay, $60 hair, toenails done. You know what? And she probably wouldn't pay, $1,000 for a suit. But I do. So I can't tell her how to love her. I can't tell her what she can and can't do to make her feel better about herself. Like, to me, that's crazy. Like, I think this is just how we do it. In our household, my wife and I go on vacation. We ain't trying to save money. What's up, Keith? We ain't fries 3 times a day. That's what, because we don't hardly do that stuff during the regular course of our day. And so when we go on vacation or day off, I let them do it how they want to do it. I'm like, bro, just don't get sick. Bro, just don't get sick. That's my only. If you get sick, you got to take care of yourself, because you ain't interrupting, because you won't eat candy all day. That ain't gonna interrupt my self-care. You don't sit here in this room by yourself, buddy. But that's how we roll. When my wife and I go on vacation, we're not trying to, we go eat wherever, whatever we want. We won't normally pay a lot of money for a big meal. But when we go on vacation, eat what we want to eat. We'll pay for it when we get back. It is what it is. Why? Because this is how we love ourselves. Man, I'm breaking bread tonight. With a third of a voice and everything. And that's the thing. Can't nobody tell us how to love us. If that's what we choose to do, that's what we choose to do. Them 3 weeks of the year. If that's what we choose to do. And the same for you. Get with your spouse, y'all. Decide how y'all want to love each other. Decide how you want to love each other. And can't nobody else tell you how to do it. Decide with your kids how you want to love you. And when you want to play PlayStation 24 hours in a row, go play it. Love on you this week. And I'm challenging you all to do it. If you want to eat your dessert first sometime, love yourself. Love yourself. That's a bread breaking moment. And I know some people probably ain't gonna like this, because it goes against like putting your neighbor first. It goes against putting it with God. God is always first. And me loving me is part of me loving him, because I'm more useful to him when I'm rested and I'm ready to go. So loving God, loving you is a part of loving God. That's a bread breaking moment. Loving you is a part of loving God, man. I enjoyed this conversation tonight. I drank a cup of tea and a bottle of water. Hey, Angelique, you wrote that like, love yourself. It goes against their traditional thinking. It does. Because when I'm full, the great I am can get more out of me. We can't give what we don't have. Self-love is not selfish. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, man, like, go in your calendar and write down time to love yourself. Man, I'm meditating Tuesday night from 7 to 9. It's me and the great I am. Or even with our spouse. We need to schedule time to love our spouse. We date, we take our kid, we date, we going on a date the first Thursday and every month. It's just what we do. Because if you don't prioritize you and you don't prioritize your relationship with your spouse, then your children are not going to prioritize it. Your boss not going to prioritize it. Your spouse's boss not going to prioritize it. You better prioritize you, and you better prioritize time with your spouse. Man, boy, I'm 1 hour in on self-love. And this is the main reason why I decided to have this conversation tonight is because this is an area where I'm growing. Like I'm learning how to enjoy me more. And I'm challenging some of you all to get in that space where you learn to enjoy you. Hey, y'all have chimed in this conversation very well tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go back and read these comments and reply to some of these comments. I'm challenging some of y'all to go back and listen to this message 2 and 3 times until you make this concrete in your life. I challenge you to share this with some of your friends and family that you know are struggling with loving themselves. They're struggling with seeing themselves how God sees them. Share this message with them. And again, man, I always want to thank you all for spending time on me with this Monday night. You all always add value to this conversation. And I would say tonight, the majority of the people that joined in stayed. So I want to thank you all for making your growth and your development a priority. Because if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. Your boy is out.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't